And happy Monday to you. Welcome to another episode of the official McCoy podcast, brought to you by the good folks at Officialize and No Coast Beer Company. Today we have a special guest, very special guest. I've been chatting with this young man. He's a little older than me, but he's still a young man over the past couple months. Govinda Patterson. Welcome to the official McCoy podcast, Govinda.
Thank you, Jelani.
Govinda is a trainer. Would you consider yourself a trainer or a coach? Player development?
Yeah,
Sensei?
Sun Tzu.
Sun Tzu.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sensei.
Sensei.
Yeah,
Sensei. Govinda has decided to join us. Like I said, I've been talking to him over the past couple of months. He's developed a new technique, would you say? He's trying to fuse a new technique inside basketball.
Yeah, I'd actually say a brand new fundamentals
of
the game.
Yeah.
Brand new fundamentals of contact sports, really.
Yeah.
It's just biomechanically better ways to move. It's just how the body naturally moves, and I just teach people how to stay balanced and how to control their opponent's balance within the game without fouling.
Right. And now, did a lot of this, we have an extensive martial arts background. There's a lot of this, did a light bulb go off in your head based off martial arts to incorporate this into contact sports?
Yeah, definitely. Well, when I hurt my back when I was in college, and I couldn't play basketball for years. Well, I haven't been able to play for years.
Right.
But
which is dreading at the end of the day
God.
when they take basketball away from you, and you never realize how much you need the back to play basketball. It encompasses everything that you need to do to play the beautiful game we love. So I know you were looking for a way to get back into the game after they took it away from you. Every player does. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I've been there, especially with back pain.
Yeah, and I was trying to figure out ways to not hurt myself when I played too. But I always kind of used my martial arts when I played, but I didn't really realize how much I used them. I used the leverage, and I used just having a lower center of gravity than my opponent.
Mm-hmm.
And just the ability, the knowledge of how to use their momentum against them that I used a lot in martial arts.
Right.
But it wasn't until I hurt my back that I really thought about it and put it all together. Because I really created most of these techniques without even stepping on the court, because I couldn't get on the court.
Couldn't afford to.
I mean, at times I couldn't even walk.
Yeah.
So I just thought about the game all the time, and it really, once I created the post-up techniques, I just applied the same aspects to every single aspect of the game, and just created new and really, everyone's calling them revolutionary basketball techniques, because it's just a much better way to play.
It is. Well, you gave me a demonstration, in front of the office about 20 minutes ago. We went through a very small, a small sample of what you do, and I immediately, like you said, I noticed some of the things that I do, that incorporate martial arts. For you, what came first, the martial arts or the basketball?
The basketball.
And then it just naturally fused?
Yeah, well, I played basketball since I was little. It was just something I always did when I was alone, or, just go outside and shoot hoops. Mm-hmm. It's just what I love to do. It's so therapeutic. It's like my church out there, just...
Basketball and martial arts are hand in hand. It's something you can do alone. It's therapeutic at the end of the day.
Yeah.
The movement in it, I feel like, releases... I could be wrong. You're more of a martial arts man than me, but I feel like it releases toxins. You know what I mean? And just encompassing yourself in martial arts or the little idiosyncrasies of basketball.
Definitely.
You look down and you realize 3 hours just went by. You actually got some exercise. You know what I mean? You broke a sweat, which you're not playing video games. You've been outside in nature. You know what I mean? Hopefully at the end of the day. So I wholeheartedly agree with what you're doing. How long have you been doing this?
I've really came up with the techniques probably about 16 or 17 years ago, but they didn't really get perfected, I guess. Well, they're always not perfected. I'm always working on them, trying to figure out better ways to do them and teach them.
Right.
But they really didn't get all honed until probably like 12 or 13 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Married man?
No, I'm single, but I have a son.
Single.
His name's Zen.
Zen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good choice. And we talked about you haven't yet taught Zen any of the techniques, not yet.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still a little young, but I'm gonna start teaching him soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Any any coaches that you brought this, any NBA legends, coaches, college coaches, high school coaches that you ran into to talk about this technique? Or I'm pretty sure if you've been doing this for the better part of 16 years, you said?
Yeah.
16 years. I'm pretty sure you sent your fair share of emails and text messages
Oh,
out.
thousands, tens of
Talk to me
thousands.
about that life of sending out emails and messages and asking people for, because we had a couple go backs and forth before we even had this podcast. So just talk to me about trying to break into the NBA and how it's a competitive scale right now with trainers and trainers, and everybody's got something revolutionary. Talk to me about the life of trying to break into the NBA and, you know, appeal to general managers and players.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, everyone's trying to get a hold of them.
Right.
You know, I don't know. I'm sure they have tons of people saying, "Oh, I've got revolutionary techniques,
Products,
or whatnot." Yeah,
techniques. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So everybody's coming at all these people. So it's hard to differentiate myself from them.
Right.
You know, so you know, I just try to contact as many people as I can. I contact, you know, all the coaches, all the GMs, all
Right.
of the agents,
Right.
all the newspapers, all the magazines.
Right.
You know, I try to go on Twitter and Facebook and
Use social
LinkedIn
media.
and
Yeah.
everything to, you know, that's how I connected with you.
Yep. Absolutely.
You know, well, actually, I met you at the that
All-Star Weekend?
Yeah,
Yeah. You were on your grind then.
Yeah.
You were on your grind during All-Star Weekend. Yeah. But immediately when I met you, I could see the passion in your eye. You know what I mean? I could see the gratitude from you. It's not like I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Shaq, but you just appreciated me just giving you a bit of the time, eye contact, not shutting you off. Those are one of the things that's always stuck out about you. And those are one of the things that you're going to be successful in teaching these athletes. I don't know whether it's your martial arts play or you being cognizant of people's energy, but I think where the reason you're going to run into a problem with this is only you can teach this.
Yeah.
Until you find that one coach who's like, let him do what he does. You know what I mean? Let him
Exactly.
color it how he wants. And that's hard to do in a boys club like the NBA.
Yeah.
If you're not from a coaching, a Pat Riley, a Popovich, somebody's coaching circle, you know what I mean? A Mike D'Antoni, Phil Jackson, whoever it is, if you don't come from that coaching circle, then they find ways to make it harder for you. So you got to you have to like getting your teeth kicked in to Govinda a little bit, because it's not easy doing what you're doing. You have to be dedicated to this.
Well, coaches and everybody, all these guys have big egos, and it's hard.
Huge.
It's hard to tell somebody like that, you know, everything you teach is wrong.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
they just don't want to hear it. So
And-
I have to be very, very gentle in the way I
Creative.
go about it. Yeah.
You got to be creative and strategic in the way, because these people consider themselves at the top of the industry, coaching the top as athletes. They learn from the brightest minds. So,
Yeah.
and you're cutting in on a lot of different areas of player development, because a lot of what you're doing is cognitive.
Yeah.
Which is what I like at the end of the day. It makes you slow down. This is what these kids need in life, right? Because a lot of them, they're super athletic. They got the shoulders and the triceps and the calves and everything. And a lot of what kids see now, they'll be fearful of that. You can win now just off physique and looking the part, right? So a lot of what you do, even in the demonstration downstairs that we had in the garage, you don't need a lot of space to teach it. You know, it's just common sense at the end of the day.
Yeah.
A lot of what you do slows down and it makes you assess a situation, even if for a couple milliseconds or blinks.
Yeah.
The little nuances and how much information is exchanged just in those, because that's how I get. When I caught it on the block, I was faster and quicker than everybody else, so I was always nervous. I had to play against a Shaq, somebody bigger, so I would catch it and just try to move fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then they got on to me catching it and moving fast, and they would like slide over. In my first couple of years, they do something simple like, okay, do your fast thing. We know you're faster than everybody. They slide over, cut me off, and then I would have to make an adjustment, a counter.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean, trying to find another leverage. But at the end of the day, I'm not designed, my body wasn't designed to be a battering ram like some of the power forwards and centers were in the 90s. So I needed somebody. I didn't find that till maybe my fourth year. Somebody that was like, take a couple seconds in there, you know what I mean, take a breath.
Yeah.
They call them deep breaths when you catch them on the post, right? You're supposed to be quiet. You look around, you slap the ball, you see them slap the ball, that should count. You slap the ball, let everybody know you got it. You take a deep breath, you look over your shoulder, and you assess the situation. But that is a trail at the end of the day. that leaves a trail. That's a pattern that I was a good defender, so I would pick, okay, you're going to slap the ball. I know you count.
Yep.
You slap, everybody, we're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Every team is doing the same thing.
Yep.
You catch, you announce that you have the ball. You see it on the NBA every weekend. You hear the hard slap. You get over your inside shoulder. You take a deep breath, and you try to take the middle.
Yeah.
The whole NBA. That's why the big guys – with the big guys, development of the big guys went away because they all teaching the same stuff.
Yeah.
Gergerich, Pete Newell while he was around, Kiki Vandeweghe. You got a lot of Kiki in what you do. Kiki Vandeweghe, are you familiar with Kiki Vandeweghe?
I've shown Kiki.
You've shown Kiki?
Yeah.
Did he like it?
He said he did, but I didn't get a response.
Because a lot of what you do is what Kiki does, and another thing that I can help you with, you got to start picking up on the terminologies. You want to start working with the pros. You know what I'm saying? Like we talked outside, and I was like, you did the move, and I was like, that's a quick go.
Yeah.
Once you start picking up on the terminology, and the newer coaches and the coaches that are in today's NBA, they'll be like, oh, okay, he's been doing his homework, or he's talked to somebody else. Now it sounds like you're getting to a few more people in player development, which I was with the Grizzlies, had an opportunity to go coach with the Atlanta Hawks Developmental League, but for personal reasons, it didn't work out for me. I had to turn down the opportunity, but those are things that you should concentrate on. Talk to me about the style of martial arts that you're that's prevalent in your technique.
I took Kung Fu San Soo, which I had an excellent instructor. He learned in China.
Yeah.
And he was about 5'3", maybe 140 pounds.
Was he ripped? Was he jacked?
Oh, he was super strong.
Yeah.
But he was skinny. But he'd throw around 350-pound guys
Easily.
like they were nothing.
Right.
You know, just amazing martial artist. But I learned so much from him, and I took a lot of those aspects that he taught me, and I put them into basketball. But I also took Aikido and karate and judo.
Those are all.
Aikido.
Those are all. Isn't that Steven Seagal's deal? Aikido.
Yeah.
So those are all styles where you use other people's momentum
Exactly.
against them.
Yeah.
That's what basketball is at the end of the day. Using other people's momentum against them. If you think about the crossover and other moves, all you trying to get, just like martial arts, all you trying to get is somebody to disobey their discipline at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
If on defense, if I'm on offense, if I'm looking at you to get off the basket line or give me a straight line drive so I can use part of the techniques you use, going off their hip, getting the ball, not dribbling until I get past them. So I created a safety pocket for myself.
Yeah.
So that makes sense at the end of the day, and that's injury prevention.
Yeah, a lot of what I teach just takes away most of the things that cause injuries.
Yeah.
You know? Like battling in the post or just putting yourself in off-balance positions.
There's a shelf life, Govinda. I played in it. So
Yeah.
I can speak from personal experience from playing in the NBA with the likes of Shaq and Sabonis, like big dudes I had no business down there playing center with, trying to do the things that they do. I should have been, using my skills and my attributes, not this is the way we play here at the end of the day. So what you do is disruptive.
Yeah, it's going to be hugely disruptive.
Yeah, so that's what we do here at Officialize. It's a lot of we parallel in a lot of what we do, because what we do here at Officialize is we empower athletes to use their voice, right? There's an educational component to that. You know what I mean? You're saying, you're being disruptive because you're saying like what you've been doing is all wrong for a minute. We're actually taking years and good, shelf life away from some of our best athletes, because what we're doing is encouraging injuries.
Yeah.
Right? And especially for big guys, it's the back, it's the feet. You know what I mean? It's just being off balance and getting overextended. There's your knee, there's your meniscus or whatever it is.
Even like you said you used to move way too fast.
Yeah.
When you started off this game, this really slows down the entire game for you.
Yeah.
And just, allows you to read and react to your opponents a lot quicker and a lot
efficiently
and effectively.
Yeah. I really do, because exactly what you said. Everybody talks about when they have their moment or they're in the zone. Yeah, the game slowed down. You know what I mean? They wait till the fourth quarter or it's late in the third quarter and they ask them, yeah, the game slowed down, and I started seeing them. But like you said, if you could spend the whole first quarter being in tune like that, you know what I mean? Now you didn't waste 3 quarters and wait till the end of the fourth quarter before the game slowed down. Now you spent 4 quarters using way less energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That you're a beast at the end of the day. It's way more efficient. Who would you think? Give me a couple of people in the NBA you think your technique would benefit the most, or if you got a hold of them, give me like your list of players. Like if I got a hold of him, that would be like my flagship guy.
Yeah. Well, I'm about to
And
work with one of them actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lance Stevenson. I'm supposed to be working with in about 2 weeks.
Right.
And I'm so excited because he already he's one of the only people in the NBA that kind of does some of my techniques.
Yes, he's unorthodox.
Yeah, he's
Lance
real
is
unorthodox.
unorthodox. We talked about it.
Yeah.
What he does is a lot of martial art thing, getting you to think he's doing one thing.
Yeah.
He does a lot with his eyes, with
He
his hands.
reads people really good.
That's all he does.
Yeah.
And he does wild, quirky things to make
get you off balance
to
and then
get you to
boom.
betray your discipline.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? However, he'll make a face.
Yeah.
He'll involve your emotions. You'll think he'll play with your ego. You know what I mean? You think he's out there trying to party on you. Really, he's trying to get you to betray your discipline so he can make a move. That's a good choice. That's going to be real fun. What? Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me somebody else. Can't be just Lance. Give me a big. Give me some bigs. Because I see this being effective on a lot of big guys. I see this saving a lot of big people's career. You know what I mean? Somewhere when this catches on, the sports performance dude is going to thank you in the training room. That's where you're going to get your win, because you're going to get your win by saving people's careers and keeping them away from injuries. Because as a coach and player development, AAU coaches, I talked to some of the doctors before the draft. Mm-hmm. They said that these kids look like Greek gods. When they take their X-rays and the MRIs, they look like 40-year-old war veterans or construction workers.
Yeah.
Their soft tissue is messed up. They've been playing on something torn in their knee and they don't even know it because they've been overcompensating, because they're such, you know what I mean, they're such genetically gifted that they can spend years masking or overcompensating something. Then they get drafted, right?
Yeah.
Then they play that 82-game season, grown man season. They get injured and he's a bust. So when you're a big dude and you're a bust, you go back to 4th, 5th, 6th grade when how could that happen? You're the biggest guy on the court.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How are you letting him steal position out of you, or why you let that little guy get a rebound out of you? You know what I mean? So anything injury preventative from a big guy is important, because at the end of the day, it's cognitive. It's part of your development. Mm-hmm. How much do you think of this can save cognitive ability if you're not using that much energy up during the game? Right, so you're saving energy from just banging around. So you have more free space to think.
Yeah.
Now it's not too many bonehead plays. Is that something? I don't turn the ball over because I have more energy together, because I didn't just sprint and then wrestle with you in a six.
And you don't get injured because you're not exhausted.
Exactly. So and you're not playing to get injured.
Yeah.
Like you said something earlier. You said you were playing and thinking of ways to play and not get injured.
Yeah.
But that's when you get injured, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Where every time you tiptoeing around or you trying to mask an injury, that's when it happens.
Yeah.
You know, whenever you go into that special place that Kobe goes into, that Lance and some of these other players go into playing injured, you mask things. You know what I mean? You end up, it's going to hurt afterwards, but during that time, you know what I mean? During when you're competing, you don't feel anything. And do you meditate?
Yeah, I do.
On a daily?
I do more of a walking meditation on the daily, but I should do it daily. I need to get back into doing it daily.
But a walking meditation meaning no music, no phone, just walking and listening to nature or stuff.
Well, I say my
affirmations.
Not affirmations. I forget the name.
You put it out there into the ethos.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's a good example of something you would say on your walk? Is that personal, Govinda?
A little bit, but
I
more
know
just positive energy, and I try to just get myself in that state, I guess.
How do you deal with negativity? Because I'm pretty sure in this space, doing this, chasing your goal, and you're in a vulnerable position, right?
Yeah.
Because you're a lot like an athlete, and everybody knows that you haven't reached where you want to reach.
Yeah.
And that's like an athlete, right? Is if you play in G League or you're in the minors, everybody knows you're an athlete, but you haven't reached where you want to reach. So in today's social media, where anybody can say anything.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, and I see that you're a good guy. You create positive energy. You know what I mean? So how do you deal with the negative aspect to this?
I actually, it's really motivating for me.
Yeah.
Because, like, I like to prove people wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
But
so,
that can go wrong for you too. So
yeah,
not
that's true.
if you got to be careful where you go, because we have a lot of I go to that same vibe like, no, I think I can do it, and I'm going to prove you wrong. But you can get unbalanced. We're talking about balance and martial arts and using people's stuff and get them. You can get unbalanced leaning on that too much at the end of the day.
Definitely.
Yeah, especially with kids. And you know what I mean? And whatever marital situation in your relationship, it's a lot at the end of the day. So besides your daily walk, how do you stay away from the negativity? Because you seem to be a positive guy, and like I said, you have to have gotten your teeth kicked in over the past couple years.
Man,
you should have quit a long time ago, Govinda.
Everybody, I've had a rough patch of like friends and family that had told me that I'm wasting my time.
That part.
And they just didn't believe in what I teach, but you know, they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Yeah.
Like if they watched me do a demonstration, then I think everybody's a believer that you can't really deny it because you can feel your balance being taken. You can feel how it works and why the normal techniques do not.
Yeah.
What's wrong with them? It's just simple logic. I'm not trying to pull one over on anybody. It's just
you don't seem like a person who's doing this for a monetary reason or so that you can brag. You've seen a need, you know what I mean, in a hole in something that's been applied. This is what's going on today in the world right now. We're so used to doing things the safe way. This is the way it's always been done, and you can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? How and if you can do that, like they want your information right away. Well, if you can do that, like you know what I mean? Like somebody said, if you can do that, how do you defend it? Well, I haven't even, you know what I mean? You just want everything right away, huh? You know, and not give me no credit or a job out of this or, you know what I mean, nothing that I can use. You just want me to give me at the end of the day. So you got to protect yourself mentally at the end of the day.
Well, I've had head NBA coaches, not Mike D'Antoni, by the way, but asked me if they could teach my techniques.
Right.
And, of course, I said no.
Yeah.
You know, if you want it taught, then let me teach it. I didn't teach you how to teach it.
Exactly.
Just bring me in. But then the next time I saw him, you know, he's like, oh, it works great.
So he tried.
He tried.
Yeah.
And then he saw my face and he's like, oh.
Yeah, but that's what they do. Yeah. And then that's another part, especially with the NBA. You got to be comfortable with people stealing your ideas.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
I'm just lucky. I'm so lucky it's hard to steal. Like it took me years.
Like I said, you can only teach that. Like they can show you what you showed them, but if you want to teach somebody, you want them to absorb it, they're going to have to cut out time for you know what I mean? Like I was trying to find ways that an athlete will push back in the technique, especially big dudes, and you not being a player or you not being a college American or anything, but you're in is your energy and the martial arts aspect to what you're doing and the common sense thing at the end of the day, right? What's going to come across for you, even with Lance, you know what I mean? I used to train Lance when he first got into the league.
Really?
You know what I mean? So there's
cool.
There's a little bit of he used to play, work out, same age as Todd Ramazar, UCLA guy, but Lance is a guy who's big on energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You can tell the way he plays, you know what I mean? If you win over a person, if you can get a Lance Stevenson to lock in and concentrate on a new technique, those are wins that you're going to need, you know what I mean, when you're not around. Your success is going to be when you're not in the room.
Exactly. Somebody that's going to work on it when I'm not there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for, students like that.
Or they want to, even if they take this and put it in their training regimen. So if they tell their trainer, like, go holler at him, I learned this from Govinda, I want this into my workout, or at the end of the workout, I'm going to spend 5 minutes on this at the beginning, 5 minutes on this at the end, you know what I mean, the more and more, so don't get discouraged when it doesn't, flash and show itself immediately in bright letters, you know what I mean, you may have to slowly try to introduce this.
Yeah, well, I mean, it seems really easy when I do it, you know, but this stuff does take a little while to learn.
Yeah.
You know, because if you haven't taken martial arts, then some of the the movements and some of the positions I have you in just feel a little bit awkward or uncomfortable
Right.
at first. But, you know, with a little bit of practice, anybody can get this stuff down.
How long do you think it'll take for you to be a master? How long did it take for you to be a master-ish?
Master-ish?
Master-ish with this technique.
Oh, man, I'd say you'd probably at least a couple months to get good at it, and then like.
Do you have to break any old habits?
Oh yeah, lots of old habits.
Yeah.
People have so many habits.
Yeah.
I gotta break.
Yeah.
And a lot of people aren't used to bending the same ways that I have them do. But see, once you learn these techniques, it doesn't matter how big or fast or strong your opponent is.
Right.
You have the advantage. Once they're off balance, it doesn't matter if they're, you know, the strongest or biggest guy in the world.
Right. So, and you say this transfers to football, volleyball, well, not volleyball, contact sports.
Any contact sports, you know, it's just how the body naturally moves and how to take advantage of your opponent and get them off balance within the rules.
If you're not studying how the body naturally moves, you're not really trying to identify nothing revolutionary in contact sports. To me, because the body's changing. Athletes are changing. The way the human body is changing. Like every 2 to 3 years, somebody abnormally big is like twinkle toes all of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
There's some freak of nature, you know what I mean, is doing something. He's tall, doing little people things. Altuve, the baseball player, is 5'6", plays like a giant, you know what I mean? So the human body is changing. So if we're not studying and how the human body is changing, how we're developing in life and in sports at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the name of your technique? Is it the Govinda Patterson technique? Have you
No,
you gotta name this thing.
It's the better balance basketball techniques.
That's long, Govinda.
Better balance techniques.
Yeah, we can.
I was gonna call it the Zen techniques, but somebody has like the Zen three-finger basketball shooting technique or something.
Yeah, that's why I was going to take the real McCoy as a podcast, and I was already taking it. So I had to go with the official McCoy, even though my last name is McCoy. So, you know what I mean? It's always people out there first to market.
Yeah.
So what else can we help? What else can we help you with? Talk to me a little about life. How's life going? What is a win game for Govinda Patterson at the end of the day? As if this technique is taught at the Olympics, if every NBA team is using this, if you have your own facility, if you're teaching other people to teach this technique across the world, across the United States, what is the end win game for Govinda Patterson?
That's the end win game all over the world is going to have to be teaching this, I think. Once I introduce it in the NBA, everyone's going to have to copy it, at least.
Yeah.
Because if you're not using my technique, then it doesn't matter how much you're paying your players. They're not going to be able to compete.
Right.
They're really not. You can't keep throwing yourself off balance and expect to win. My guy's going to be able to take advantage of that every single time.
Right.
You know, it's really simple.
How much time?
But my
Go ahead.
My goal is to be on one NBA team and dominate like nobody's ever dominated before.
Right.
And then everybody else is going to want it, and then I'll spread it out.
Are you going to start with bigs? Are you going to start with bigs? Or is the wing series?
It's for everybody.
Yeah.
But bigs, like I played big man, a lot too.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not quite your size. But,
every year.
But I was pretty good in the post. But I like to drive too. But I like to teach everybody. But yeah, bigs would probably be my focus.
Bigs, this is probably be very beneficial for big guys. They work in a small space. You know what I mean? They're fighting for inches. You know what I mean? So every little bit of turn that you can do this more effectively is crucial.
I still can't wait to show you my post technique. I didn't get to show you that.
I know. We'll definitely get to that. You said you got stuff for pick and rolls, everything. Every aspect of basketball.
Yeah, anything you can think of.
And this obviously helps endurance because you do not expend a lot of energy. Could you get better in shape doing? Say I took this as a fitness class. Let's say at every Thursday at 1:00. There's the better balance technique, and we do this for an hour without a basketball.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get a great leg workout and butt workout because you're gonna get low
and your core
and your core. You're getting in positions.
Yeah,
it's not easy, but it's a lot easier than playing the other way.
And encouraging injuries. Could this? Yeah. Oh, this just came up to. Could this be something that be done on soft sand? Have you ever thought about taking this on the sand on the beach?
I haven't thought about that.
Every step you take is not the same. You're getting all that, breaking all the fascia.
Yeah, because you don't even need a basketball for the workout.
That's where I
That's a good idea.
That's why I want to help you with this, because like we did, you don't need a basketball for the workout. At the end of the day, I've been trying to figure out ways you can teach a basketball in a class for like 45 minutes. So like, let's say it's lunchtime, and like I want to go through all the movements, because if you play basketball, every sport uses basketball to get in shape. Because if the Michelangelo dude with all the arms, it works through every single plane that the human body is supposed to work through. That's why basketball is the best way to get in shape. So I was trying to find ways that you can not incorporate the basketball as much, or not need a hoop, and still do every movement that you do in basketball, because it'll have you ripped up and looking good. You get a nice sweat, you know what I mean? Get all the toxins released. So that might be something you want to think about.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, use California as the backdrop. You're a California kid. I know you like to be outside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Use it as a backdrop. Take it to the beach. Let people do it, overlooking the waves. You know, there you got your moving meditation. You just checked off the moving meditation box. Wellness. It could be any age. You can mix youngers with, you know what I mean, intermediate, beginners, you know what I mean, advanced. Everybody needs that movement. That's why I like it at the end of the day, because no matter how advanced, beginner, intermediate that you are, you can use it.
Yeah.
It doesn't cap out, and
you don't even know how to play. You don't even need to know how to play basketball. If you learn these techniques, you're going to be able to score on people.
Exactly. And that's just something to have on life. Just taking a minute, assessing the situation, and make sure you're staying on balance, and you're using the things that are coming in life to you. You're using their inertia against them. So some of this stuff you don't need.
Yeah.
A lot of what you do is life integrated. That's why I've been thinking over the past ways. Why do I want Govinda on the podcast? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I've been thinking about it, and like literally over the weekend, I was like, a lot of what he does is just a microcosm of life. 2018, we got the internet, we got family, we got all this stuff coming at us. You know, some things, you know, you need to stop and assess. Some things you can use them, and let them go by you using their own inertia. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, that's important. So many people don't stop and assess their situation, even if it is like 3 seconds. How many times could somebody been pissed off in traffic? You know what I mean? It took 3 seconds to be like, I'm on bullshit. I'm going to redivert this to proper ways. Let me get on some music, just vibrating at a little higher frequency. Let me get some holler notes.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Not some heavy metal. Let me get something that's vibrating on a positive frequency.
Change your frequency.
Exactly. That's mental health, Govinda, at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Is this reality? If you stop and assessing somebody, is this real? Can I fix it? No? Okay, then whatever. Can I fix it? Yes. Okay, if I fix it. If I can't, I can't. Let's go on to the next thing. So like I said, I was trying to find ways, not to call you a quack. You know what I mean? Just find, like you said, you've experienced this so many times before.
I expected that every time. Yeah.
That's why you have to be energy. I've been into places and the environments like the energy. It's not negative, but the energy that walking into a room where people, if they don't want you to fail, they at least want to turn up their nose and beat you and be like, that's what I thought. There it is. You know what I mean? So, like, how
that's
you got to
mostly get, I think.
Yeah, and that's what's the word I'm looking for? It takes away from you at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's like a small nick or a cut that you have to bandage up or re-sew and represent yourself at the end of the day, bright-eyed and enthusiastic, because you can't be salty and try to teach this shit, Govinda. You can't not have no energy or have an ego. You know what I mean? That takes time. That's a talent. Did you go to college? Or you got a college education?
Yeah, I did. I went to Southern Oregon University.
Okay. You finish it with a degree?
Well,
don't worry about it. I didn't either. Don't be. This is a safe place.
It was just life happens.
Life happened to my ass in college too.
Well, I was one class away from getting my degree. Actually, I was already done with everything, but just some
life.
Yeah.
Life happens. Are you going to go back and get that class?
Yeah, actually, I had always planned on getting a master's and getting just going. I love to learn.
Yeah.
So I definitely I'm gonna go back to school once I get a chance. But I thought, since I was on this road, I keep thinking it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So, it's kind of like.
Well, this is like the next thing that you were so close to your degree. So I see why this has gone on 16 years, because you were so close to your degree, right?
Yeah.
And now you're like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I don't want to stop another thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're passionate. You like to learn. So you're passionate, a little decently passionate about school. You know what I mean? Because you love to learn. But to me, I see where this is going, because you don't want to stop like this right before it's going to happen. And it sounds like from you getting to Lance Stevens, and you have a couple little encounters where you'd be like, if I could, it's right there. I don't want to quit. It's like that cartoon. You see the cartoon of the two dudes digging, one's on top of the other, and they got the pickaxes. And then, like, right before he breaks through, you know what I mean? He goes, to hell with it, and he turns the other way. But the dude on the bottom keeps picking. It's like the last pick that breaks the wall. You know what I mean? If you ever see that cartoon, check it out. I always try to keep it in mind, because I've done a lot of things over in my life where maybe shouldn't have did that. I should have just, stuck to the status quo, and you know what I mean, just kept my nose down, whether it be for a couple hours, whether it be a statement or something that I might have shouldn't have said. You know what I mean? And
Everybody makes mistakes.
Everybody makes mistakes, Govinda. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I appreciate your spirit, because you're learning from your mistakes, and you're trying to help other people learn from their mistakes, and you're creating positives from a mistake.
Yeah, I just can't wait to share this with the world. I don't want to keep it a secret. I love to show everybody, but it would be unwise to just put videos and stuff out there. I can make a lot of money.
You could.
I can make a lot of money, you know,
could.
but that's not what I want. I want the championships, and I want to see what it can do when nobody else really knows what my stuff can do.
Right. Man,
it's just a dream.
Yeah, that's a good dream to have. I think it is needed. Like I said, I'll try to do whatever I can do to help. You got an ambassador for me. We'll dial in more on learning more about on court. We'll get a basketball court, and I don't even mind when we start training again. I'll start opening up my training aspect to what I do.
I'd love to learn from you. Anything you got to
or
teach
yeah,
me,
or you could come monthly.
so-
You could come monthly and have work on teaching kids at different ages, at different levels, college, high school, 5 stars, 3 stars, whatever it is.
Yeah.
The more reps we can get up together, I'll help you with all the terminology. You know what I mean? I got a lot of player development coaches and things that I think can help.
Yeah.
And I think because
I'm open. I'm open to anything.
Yeah, I even start thinking of some players that I think they can use this.
Oh, thank you so much.
You know what I mean? I appreciate you coming by, making the drive. It's been entertaining, educational. You know what I mean? It's always good to talk to a fellow disruptive spirit. Anything else you want to leave? You want to leave the people with about the better balance technique?
Well,
Your final statement onto why you should start using a better balance technique.
Well, first I want to thank you for even having me on the show and taking the time, because you didn't know if I was fake or not.
I was gonna find out, Govinda.
You're gonna find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what'd you think it was gonna be before I got here?
I didn't know.
What were you
I didn't
thinking,
know.
like-
We talked about it before you came. We did our background, and you know what I mean. Watched the articles, watched a couple of your videos. I didn't know, but from the only thing I got from you was a positive vibe.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, if it was like a 9, if it was even a gray area deal, like I would have been, I'm cool. You know what I mean? But I get it. Like I understand the market of the NBA, the boys club of the NBA, what you've been through. It's a lot like what I've been through in my career. So I take my talents as a free agent. I've been a starter, won championships, had guaranteed contracts, non-guaranteed contracts, had to get my guaranteed contract in the middle of training camp. So I've taken my technique to different places in the NBA with them wanting me to fail.
Yeah.
I know the energy with walking into a room, you know what I mean, with a bunch of know-it-alls and their collared shirts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody's got the collared shirt on and their NBA socks and logos. It's a little intimidating at the end of the day. You know your stuff works and why it's going to work. But even if you can't get through that energy, you can't even get to the energy that you need to project yourself. So I understand what goes on at the end of the day when you walk into that environment. That's why I wanted to interview you. That's why it made sense.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm looking for dedicated students.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm looking for somebody that wants to be better than Michael Jordan and LeBron James.
Absolutely. There's
And,
nothing
like,
wrong with looking for that.
I know that I'm gonna be the teacher of the next player that surpasses them.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're somebody that wants to be great in the NBA, then please try to contact me on social media, or
What's your handles?
just look up Govinda Patterson, and you can find me on Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook.
All over.
Yeah, Facebook
All over.
or Twitter.
Just Google Govinda Patterson.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you'll find it. Govinda, thanks for joining us.
Hey,
Pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, this has been a pleasure,
so
man.
much
So, like I
appreciated.
said, we'll talk. We'll stay in touch. Whatever I can do to help. Good luck with Lance Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? Please tell him Jelani McCoy said hello.
I will.
Yeah, and we'll have you on again after the Lance.
Cool.
We'll have you on again. See how Lance took to all the technique and get an update and try to get you some more NBA players, local San Diego guys. Like I said, 5 stars, 3 stars. We'll do what we can in San Diego to help you here. Since you got the
Thank you.
since you got the blessing of the big redhead,
That's right.
a fellow Bruin and San Diego guy, it only makes sense.
And I gotta thank Bill Walton too.
Yeah.
Because without his help, I don't even know if I'd be here. Because he was the first one to really give me a chance.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
I just can't say enough nice things about him. He's such an encouraging, great person. He's one of the best people I've ever met, and
Right.
I just want to really,
He's
him
a
a
fellow
lot.
disruptor.
yeah,
He went up there and grew his hair out when you weren't supposed to have facial hair and listen to the Grateful Hair. So he gets being a pioneer or something new in a vertical. So he knows about the energy. That's why he's nice and to answer to your emails like you spoke to. But Bill Walton is a basketball legend, basketball god, local San Diego. So if I can bridge what he started, you know what I mean, and get you to the next San Diego player or whatever that can help you, that's what we're here to do.
thank
Yeah.
you.
This has been the official McCoy podcast. Shout out, thanks to Govinda Patterson for being vulnerable on the podcast with us. He's a shy guy like myself. Please continue to support us. Thanks to No Coast and Officialized Media, officialized.com. Like I said, please continue to support us across all the official McCoy podcast platforms. Thank you to Brian, our producer, and we'll see you next week.